Hey there team, it's Ripper. Hope you guys are doing great. Got a great, finally good video on the Annapolis here. A super ship that just got released to me for a 2-day rental and it's gonna be a blast. Build is on the screen. It's more of like my Des Moines build, and as the title of the video is, this is a super Des Moines. This is something kind of like what the Puerto Rico is to the Alaska. The Puerto Rico wishes it could be this cool, but I really like the Annapolis. It's like super Des Moines. Hey guys, I appreciate all the support, getting to 300 subscribers. Like, subscribe, bell button to help us support the channel, get us to 300 subscribers, and hey, open up the community, bring great discussions, share a good time, and have fun sailing ships. All right, so Annapolis here. What is it really? I mean, like again, like I said, this really boils down to being a super Des Moines. It's really a Des Moines with an extra turret on it. And it's got a lot of these AA guns or side secondary whatever. It looks like it just replaced the secondaries of Des Moines with a bunch of SAP Austin looking, you could say, anti-aircraft guns. I wish these things fired SAP. That would be really, really cool. Kind of like a version of the Napoli, but this is the Annapolis. Just 12 guns of Des Moines guns, that is, shooting really, really fast. I think the biggest gimmick of this is really just 12 guns that fire really, really, really fast. I mean, this is the coolest cruiser that I can think of right now in the game that allows you to do what it can do, which is rain fire and put a lot of lead down range. Kind of like what the Zao and the Hindenburg really do. It's just this thing reloads in about 5 seconds each a piece. Each turret, that is, and it is incredible the amount of firepower you can go down. Yes, if you look at the bottom of the screen there's this button called F, and that switches between this massive burst salvo, if you will, which basically fires 2 salvos in quick rapid succession, and you'll see me do that later. But the problem is you have to wait the full reload, which is about 40-ish seconds. And there's the Condo, which is the French version of this. It is another super cruiser, if you will, and it reloads in about 43 seconds. So that is a sacrifice you do for the amount of firepower you're putting down range, 2 salvos worth, but you gotta wait 40 seconds. But I've noticed, look at this, and I'm just firing random shells here, just normal firepower. They reload in about 4.8 seconds, so think about it. In 40 seconds, I could get 10 shots off. That is pretty incredible for me. I mean, 10 shots of 12 203 or whatever millimeter guns these are, the Des Moines. That is a lot of firepower downrange, and it starts a lot of fires. Other cool things about the ship is it's not as maneuverable. I mean, it's just like a big fat Des Moines. It's not as maneuverable as you would think it'd be. It's kind of clunky, in my opinion. It's more about finesse and being able to slow down, speed up, turn, angle away at the right given times. Gearing's showing a little bit too much right there. And the shells are a little slow, so you gotta get used to them. But since he's within our range, we were going to use our radar. He's about 10 kilometers. And I think we're only going to catch a little bit. I'm just trying to provide support for my daring there to fire upon, but the gearing just goes outside of our range. So kind of a waste of a radar, but we got some spotting there. I got RPF loaded on this as well, giving me a little bit of sense of direction of where enemies are at. Standard radar, 10 kilometer radar is about 40 seconds-ish if you build into it. So that's still a good, decent radar. I mean, 10 kilometers, that's what the American fleet line does. Backed up with a bit of hydro that allows you to detect ships out to 5 and torpedoes maybe up to, I believe, 3. But I really just use the hydro for defensive purposes only, to see what's coming at me. Petro is sitting there just holding its, doing what a Petro does, is just nose in and holds a hill or a mountain or something. And now I'm just playing around with the reload rate. If I just click every 1 second, I can get a gun to fire every second. So it's pretty awesome. It just seems fun. There are the torpedoes right there. That's what the hydro is good for, spotting them so that we can see it. I think GK spotted it for us, but a lot of good situational awareness. And we're gonna see if we can take out the Petro, since the gearing just got taken out, and now Petro is just a sitting duck, and just watch us rain 12 200+ millimeter guns here, just raining fire down on this Petro. I believe this is the coolest thing ever. Just the amount of reload and firepower you're putting in, it's just awesome. Just sitting and listening to the guns is just really, really cool. And each one of these shells is doing, what, a couple hundred, 1,000, 900. I mean, over time, this gets kind of ridiculous and annoying. So I'm just raining shells, going like I'm a Colbert or something. But Not as fast as Colbert, but just something similar. Look at just constant rain of fire down on the Petra. He is not having a good day at all. And while setting a fire, he's gonna go back up and burn to ashes in the rear. But anyways, the game kind of froze a little bit there, so I had to log back in. Lately, I don't know what's going on with the game, but funny is since I got logged out, I had to log back in. Half my team died, but the other half died as well, and now we are luckily back in a decent position. Good thing we were in a bad position while we got locked out, or otherwise we'd have gotten blapped. But we're back in this game. Team saying, look, you were in a good spot. Yep, now we're back, and hopefully we can carry this game back to a victory. But man, a couple other things I like about the Annapolis is the ability to use situations, or I guess you could say conditions that would allow you to really, really punish a ship. They call it situational, and I like this. Now, here's my strategy. What I do with the fast reload guns is use the standard guns, which reload in about 4.5 seconds-ish. You can see right now, I mean, I'm just nosed in towards the Republic. He's trying to run away, but I can launch shells every 4.5 seconds, which is pretty incredible, and it's going to start a fire on. So this is pretty cool, and when you get 12 guns to bear on them, 4.5 seconds is really good. I mean, there's nothing more you can ask for. Now, when I notice that I'm about to, see a Republic here, if he gets down to maybe a quarter of what he's at right now, maybe only like 10,000 health left, that's when I switch over, press F, switch over to the quick reload, and just send down range 2 salvos worth of these guns. And man, that is where it's kind of like the finishing move in Mortal Kombat. Finish him. I believe the F key for me is the finish him, but I would not use it for a normal engagement because look at this. I mean, the rapid reload right now is just decent enough for what it's supposed to do. Boom, whammy kablammy, Republic's out of the game, second kill of the game right now. 2 ships left, and funny, we have another Annapolis also coming at us as well. Would I recommend the ship? I think this is better, in my honest opinion, I think this is better than the Conde. Conde has secondaries and torpedoes and better AP shells, but man, the reload on this ship of the Annapolis is what its selling point right here. And the ability to switch to that rapid firing conditional finish him move, if you will, is really fun and cool to watch as well. But look at this maneuverability. An island in front of me. I'm going to see if I can make this turn, which I do, all while still shooting. Shooting and maneuvering, fire and shoot and scoot. That's exactly the name of the game. And this, as you can tell, it's very, very maneuverable for what it needs to do. I mean, people are shooting at me right now, and I'm able to turn left, turn right, and still make my way, just adjusting the resolution here. And the ability to dodge and juke shells is pretty incredible, but as you can tell, I just took one massive hit. That is the only downside of this ship. It is like a Des Moines. It is very, very, very squishy. I mean, it is a cruiser. I believe they consider the Des Moines a light cruiser class because the Alaska and Puerto Rico are I would consider super cruisers, if you want to call it that. So now the Des Moines is now kind of a light cruiser in my opinion now. Not like the Buffalo and all those other things. Those are like even lighter cruisers, but yeah, it's very squishy. I mean, you take a shell right down the hole and everything, man, it will take a lot of health off. Even the heel is just not enough to offset it, but it's decent enough for what it does and what it can do. We're firing a lot of HE shells, but look how quick I reload and switch. I mean, just switched over to AP, and bam, we're firing AP right now to a broadside Annapolis, which again is not something you want to do in this ship. It is very, very squishy. Look at this. Oh, let's see if we can get a couple good Citadel hits, hopefully. Boom, there's one. Yeah, again, not the greatest of tanking cruisers. I mean, I don't think any cruiser is supposed to tank, but it's really we are just a weapons platform to rain hell down onto a target. So would I recommend this ship? Absolutely. I think this is probably, and I've noticed a lot of them, a lot of Annapolis, a lot of condos that have been playing in the ranked gameplay to test these out. I think people are not playing the destroyers as much. I tried to play destroyer, but nothing would load because nobody wanted to play. And I think matchmaking has to match you up with another super ship. And not many people want to play the destroyers. I think a lot of people are choosing either the battleships or the cruisers lines. And so far, the most fun right now, I have to say, is the cruiser line. And this is, like I was talking in chat, this is a Des Moines on steroids. I mean, goodness gracious. This thing is awesome. I wish they released this in the game. Whatever it costs, we're going to get it because it is totally worth it. Unfortunately, I don't think Gore Games is going to allow this to happen because just based on what you're looking at, it seems like an unbalanced ship. even though it seems that there have been other ships that have been released that are worse than this. But this seems like a really, really fun ship for what it can do, and I really think that you guys should definitely try it out. How do I go about getting this? Well, what you got to do is play either ranked or cooperative and get a certain amount of points to get the tokens. And once you get the tokens, you go into the armory and you open up the crates or unlock the rewards that are daily only. So you can, I think it takes 4 tokens to unlock one of those, I would say release or gimmicks or whatever you call it, boxes or whatever you want to call these things, bundles. You release one a day, and today I just happened to get the bundle that allows me to rent these ships for 2 days. So definitely, I encourage you guys, try it out. It is super fun. And here's the condition I was talking about, watching at the GK, looking at his health. If he gets down to maybe about 1/3 of this, I will switch over to Whammy, Klablappy, Super Fiery, Pointy, Shooty, Rooty Tooty, and we're gonna blast the crap out of the GK right here. And I think, let's see here. Boom, we take one overpin there. Ooh, took another, and hopefully this, let's see here. Yep, okay, now he's down to his health. We'll go ahead, and I think after this salvo, yep, torpedoes go up. Yep, you're down to 8,000. Let's switch to rapid firing, and here we go. Oh, but he dies before we can get this out. But look at that firepower right there. That is the finishing move. Finish him, if you will. Really, really fun ship. Annapolis, guys, try it out. Hope you guys liked the video. Comment, like, subscribe. Appreciate all the support going to 300. And until then, we'll talk to you guys soon. Well, and be safe. Cheers.